and welcome to episode 11 of Practice Your Positive Daily, the podcast. I am your host, Sass, and we have another tough love podcast today. A few podcasts ago, I had a tough love episode on complaining. Today's tough love episode is it's going to hurt. So imagine this, right? Imagine that your friend gets you to sign up for a Zumba class. You're like, oh, I don't know about that, but you're a good friend. You want to have some fun. You go to Zumba. Everyone else is doing it. They're all in formation. Everyone's going right. Maybe you're going left. You do the moves, but you're always thinking, boy, this feels awkward. Am I doing this right? I'm just not sure. The next day you wake up and you're sore. Your butt's sore. Your legs are sore. You're sore in these different places, right? So imagine that. Then imagine the next week, another friend of yours says, hey, let's go lift together. And you go and you lift. And she's a great lifter. And we're doing all these big moves and Olympic lifts and setting up the barbells. And again, as you're doing it, you're questioning, am I strong enough? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this correctly? How does she make this look so easy? And the next day you're really sore. Do you see where I'm going with this? So it's the same with our mindset. Training our minds is the same as training our bodies. When we're going from negative to neutral to positive to super positive, there's going to be pain. There's going to be soreness. There's going to be awkwardness. There's going to be days where you're like, what am I doing? This feels so weird. I don't know if I'm even doing this right. I feel like everyone's staring at me. And also, this kind of hurts. And I'm here to tell you, someone had to tell you, and I'm here to tell you, yes, it is going to hurt. And yes, you will live. And yes, it is okay. All of those things are okay. As we shift our minds, there's going to be an accompanying pain, a soreness. This is a different kind of pain or soreness than you might have from a negative spiral. This is the kind of pain where you wonder, what am I doing? And am I doing this right? And is it worth it? Is it worth this? And I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. And if you haven't felt hope, joy, gratitude, peace of mind, if you haven't felt those feelings in a while, feeling them again, it can be hard. And it can also remind you of all the years that you haven't been feeling them. Just like if you go back to the gym and you start getting in good shape, it can remind you of all the years where you weren't in shape and maybe you didn't make the best choices for your health or your body, or you weren't in a position where there were circumstances that prevented you from doing these things. But if you're doing it now and it feels awkward or it hurts or you feel self-conscious, it's okay. It's totally normal. And again, just keep using that analogy. If you picked up a new sport, if you picked up weights and you haven't picked up weights before and you're not strong you're not strong enough to feel good about it, that's just a sign that you haven't been doing it. It doesn't mean that your body can't do it. It doesn't mean that you can't change your mindset. It doesn't mean that you don't have the natural ability or that you can't get there. It just means you haven't practiced it. If you haven't stretched in a long time and I said, hey, touch your toes, and you can only make it halfway, it doesn't mean that your body is broken or you messed up. It just means that you need to practice that more. And it's the same with our mindset. If you haven't felt the feelings of hope, joy, gratitude, peace of mind, if you haven't felt those in a while, even though they're great feelings, they might make you feel uncomfortable. It might feel scary. It might feel scary to hope. It might feel painful to have dreams. It might remind you of the years in the past where you didn't have dreams. And I just want to tell you, that's okay. You'll be okay. If you feel called to level up your positivity, to get yourself back in shape, to get your feelings fitness in, then stick with it. Hang in the saddle. It's just like training our bodies. If you start working on positivity and you work on your positive mindset, and then perhaps circumstances come up or something happens and you put it away and you kind of go back to your old ways, the next time you pick it up, expect there to be some pain, expect there to be some soreness, expect there to be some self-consciousness. But you won't have lost all the things you've done in the past. You won't have lost those gains. You'll get them right back. But in the beginning, you're going to be a little sore. And I just want you to expect that. And if this is your time to show up for yourself, if this is a time when you say, I'm going to get serious and put, myself, my mental health, my happiness, my mindset above everything else, then I want to encourage you to hang in the saddle, to stick with it. even on the days when it hurts, even when you're sore, even when you're self-conscious, even when you're like, I don't want to do this. If you feel the calling to do this, then I want to tell you that you can push through the pain, and there's going to be plateaus, right? I was in a pretty good space before I started this new venture, and pushing through this new speaking gig and the podcast and all of the new work that I'm putting out there, it pushed me through some of my barriers, through some of my plateaus to be positive in a whole different way. And it's painful. There's some days where I think, what am I doing? This is bonkers. I could just be going to Target, swiping on an app, having a couple of drinks and zoning out on the deck. And there is a value to the pain. There's a value to the soreness. There's a value to trying something new. And so if you feel called to do this, I just want to say that, I support you. I am here. I get it. Lots of people get it. People who've been through this, people who push through this, people who've worked on their mindset, they get it. Just like if you go into the gym, I think it's funny, right? When you go into the gym and you see these people who are maybe very aesthetically pleasing, or they're very muscular, or they're putting up heavy weights, they are often the nicest people. And you would think they'd be the most intimidating people at the gym, some meathead, some gym rat, I know sometimes people even come up to me and they're like, oh, you're really nice. I'm like, I'm a very nice person. I'm just very serious about my training. And it's the same with mindset, right? Anyone who's been through it, anyone who's put in the work, even a little bit, we know, they know, that it's painful. That it takes a certain level of courage and braveness to show up in this way and to sit in the discomfort. Like in yoga, right? Find your edge. There's a space where, you're not stretching enough. You're not pushing yourself enough. And there's a place where you push too far and push into that pain. And I'm not encouraging you to feel pain. I'm not encouraging you to hurt yourself, but I am letting you know there is a certain level of discomfort that's going to come, and that's totally normal. And soothe yourself, take care of yourself. I know sometimes after I have a very deep share with one of my close support friends, that the next day I'm kind of tired. I almost have like a little emotional hangover. And those days then, when it's tough, when I'm sore, when I'm tired, I take it easy on myself, just like you would if you had a really heavy lift day, a really heavy workout, a really long run. The next day, right? Some light walking, a nutritious meal, good sleep, self-care. Take care of yourself the same way you would if you were training for a marathon or the Olympics or a professional sport. Push yourself, find your edge, sit in the discomfort, and then take care of yourself, nurture yourself so that you can get back up and you can do it another day. That is it. I love you so much. I really do. I can't wait to be with you again tomorrow. Thanks for hitting the positivity, Jim. I will see you tomorrow.